That's time-consuming. How does a quantum computer do it? A quantum computer does it all at once. I repeat, all at once. In one sweep, a quantum computer can do the calculation. And now you begin to understand the power of Mother Nature. Mother Nature is a quantum computer. Mother Nature is not digital. Where in the universe do you find digital things? The Earth may be the only place in the universe that uses digital. And let's talk about the paradoxes you get. Let's say I have a light bulb. Light bulb shoots particles of light through two holes. On the right-hand side, how many bands of light should you see? Well, common sense says, that's stupid. Any idiot knows you have two holes. You have two pieces of light, two images of light, right? Well, maybe you did this experiment when you were in college or high school. When you do this experiment, you don't get two bands on the right-hand side. You get an infinite number of bands. And you say to yourself, what? This is impossible. It means that the light beam can be in more places at the same time than you think. It can be many places at the same time. This is the basis of a quantum. This is the reason why a quantum computer is so powerful compared to a digital computer. It means that a quantum computer computes in parallel universes. This is straight out of Marvel comics. Have you ever seen the latest Marvel movies? Thor, Spider-Man, they're all in parallel universes, the multiverse. Where did they get that idea from? Physics. We physicists told Marvel Comics, you're old hat. Why not have Spider-Man exist in multiple states at the same time? All the Marvel movies are now in the multiverse. So atoms can communicate with each other, they can be in more places than once, and that's the power of quantum computers. If you understand that point, you understand the future. Light beams can be more places at the same time. This is the multiverse. Welcome to the multiverse. Now, who's worried about this? You may say to yourself, well, a bunch of PhD physicists. That's the only people worried about this. Nope. The organization most worried about this is the CIA. Documents leaked from the CIA, we have them, show that yes, they're worried, really worried. Because if this is more powerful than digital, it means you can steal the crown jewels of another country's code and take them over by understanding all their secrets. We're talking about the fact that the CIA realizes that a quantum computer can break into any known digital computer. How does it do it? Well, let's say C is a very large number. You have to factorize C into two factors. And that's why codes are so difficult. When you make a code, how does a code work? Well, a code works because the factorizing takes a lot of time. And that's why you cannot break into a code. If C is 100 digits long, how long will it take you to factorize it into A and B? It may take you 1,000 years. That is the basis of secrecy in a modern nation. Secrecy is the difficulty in factorizing a number. But a quantum computer can factorize that number overnight. That's what's giving the CIA headaches at night. So, how do we counteract this? Well, it's not known how to counteract it. If you ever figure out how to counteract that, tell me first. We'll split the money, you and me. Nobody knows how to stop this. But there's one way. Use the quantum to defeat the quantum. Let's say I take a polarized light beam in your glasses. In your glasses, you have a polarization. Only light beam of a certain polarization can go through your light, go through your glasses. That's how sunglasses work. Sunglasses work because only one orientation can go penetrate. This way doesn't go. And that's why sunglasses work. Now, if you have a code that is vibrating like this, and one day it starts to go like this, what does it mean? Somebody is trying to crack into your code. This is another way to fight criminals. Use the quantum to defeat the quantum. Now you may say to yourself, well, what does it mean for the average person? First of all, this is how we store information. Miles and miles and rows of digital codes. This is how we store information. But Mother Nature does it in a blink of an eye. How does Mother Nature get around this fact? Well, let's say I take photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the basis of all life on Earth. Everything alive that moves is in some sense related to photosynthesis. How does it work? Well, you take carbon dioxide. In high school, you learn that you mix it with sunlight, and out comes sugar. And out comes oxygen. Why do you breathe? You breathe because of this effect. Every oxygen molecule in your body went through this process. How does it work? How do you change carbon dioxide into sugar? Well, we're not really sure. But a quantum computer should be able to do the same thing. The magic of chemistry is a quantum process. And nature does this effortlessly to create fertilizer. How do you make fertilizer? Mother Nature does it by taking legumes, like beans, mixing it with soil in a very complex combination, which gives you fertilizer. This is how Mother Nature does it. It takes a molecule like this. This is a molecule of fertilizer, and turns it into the magic of edible crops. With a quantum computer, you can do this. How do we humans do it? We have to raise the crop in the laboratory. Very painful process. That's why we have huge agricultural farms to create fertilized crops. Mother Nature does it instantly. Mother Nature is way ahead of us. Now, how does that affect you? I hate to say this, but many of you will eventually get Alzheimer's disease. What causes Alzheimer's disease? This molecule. This is a molecule which is going to doom a good fraction of Homo sapiens. This is the molecule that gives Alzheimer's. How does it work? Well, there are two kinds of these chemicals. One spins to the left, one spins to the right. Recently, it was just noticed that the Alzheimer's that causes humans to be crippled, it bends to the left, not the right. If we can separate these two, the left hand and the right-handed molecule, we may be able to save the human race. How do you do that? Maybe with a quantum computer. This is a hope. But the hope is that a quantum computer will be able to solve the problem of Alzheimer's disease and cancer. Let's take a look at cancer for a moment. It turns out that with gene sequencing, we can eliminate biopsies and identify cancer before it becomes lethal. And so we're talking about the fact that we can now look at the orientation of a molecule using quantum computers and then tell which molecule could become cancerous. So how will we fight cancer in the future? In the future, this may be the cure for cancer. Your toilet. Your toilet will analyze your bodily fluids, determine which molecule is cancerous, which molecule is not cancerous, and alert the authorities and impound your toilet and save you from cancer. This may give us the cure for cancer, because at the molecular level now, we can determine which molecule is cancerous and which molecule is not cancerous. And it means that we can also begin to understand the human brain. The human brain has been a black box, but now we're beginning to tease apart the human brain itself. With MRI scans, like I said, we can actually read the thoughts that are circulating inside your brain. By looking at the way in which your brain cells fire, we can begin to decode the thinking process itself. And the next big question, why do we have to die? Why? Well, we die because we get old. But why do we get old? Well, we're not quite certain, but we think we have a clue. Think of a car. Why does a car eventually fail? Well, it gets old. But where does it get old? Where in a car does a car get old? The engine. Why does the engine get old? Because that's when you get carbon buildups, sludge. That's where all the mistakes occur in the engine. Now, where is the engine of a cell? The mitochondria. Bingo. We now know where the aging takes place. The energy generator of a cell is the mitochondria. When you burn energy, you create mistakes. Mistakes means cancer. It means the aging process. And so we're now beginning to zero in on the aging process. Now, can we reverse this process? We don't know. But right now, the largest teams of biochemists are searching for the clues to reverse this process. If we can reverse this process, we can cure the aging process itself. Aging is basically the buildup of mistakes in a molecule. And that's what quantum computers are all about. Quantum computers will eventually begin to revolutionize our world. New ways of agriculture, new ways of creating crops, new ways of fighting disease, all of that at the molecular level. Now you may say to yourself, well, don't we have wonder drugs? How do we find wonder drugs? Trial and error. We take thousands of chemicals and hope that one of them becomes a wonder drug. That is so primitive. This means we can now do chemistry in a computer. Let me repeat that again. The future of chemistry is a computer. We'll be able to mimic chemical reactions in a computer. We can't do that today. Computers are too primitive to model chemical reactions. But cancer, Alzheimer's, all these are chemical, biological molecules that have gone astray. We'll be able to cure them in the future. And, as I said before, the future of the internet will be BrainNet. We'll send images, we'll send ideas around the planet Earth. And that's going to change the way we interact with other humans. Well, now let me wind up on a note, and if we have time, maybe I'll take a few questions from the audience. Let me say a few things about myself as a physicist. My role model when I was a child was Albert Einstein. And my favorite Einstein story is this. When Einstein was an old man, he was tired of giving the same talk over and over again. So one day his chauffeur came up to him, and the chauffeur said, "Professor, I'm really a part-time actor. I've heard your speech so many times, I've memorized it. So why don't we switch places? I will put on a mustache, I will put on a wig, I will be the great Einstein, and you can take my jacket and be my chauffeur." Well, Einstein loved the joke, so they switched places. This went along famously until one day, a mathematician in the back asked a very difficult question. And Einstein thought, oh, the game is up. But then the chauffeur said, that question is so elementary that even my chauffeur here can answer it for you. Anyway, thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Thank you. This is the vision of the future. The fourth grade and the fifth grade in the history of science. Thank you.